Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Thursday, September 16th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. Welcome everybody, good to see ya. Come on in, relax. So glad you guys can make it. Da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. So hello to all my Facebook peeps. Greetings to the people who make it into the room to chat. Greetings to the people who come in and lurk. Glad to see ya. And welcome to my YouTube people. Okay. So let's get set up. I'm having a quiet Thursday. Hi, Mary. Hello, Rhonda. Greetings and salutations to everybody. Okay. So I've got my little truck that I'm doing. I hope everybody is faring well today as we slog through our day. Oh man. Da, 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 da. So I've got several projects that I've been working on. I've been working on our truck. Again, thank you for all the kind comments that you guys are making about it. I'm really enjoying it. And I was asked to do a darker grayscale, so I'll possibly be starting on this one tonight. And I've got our little puppy. Oh my gosh. Puppy, puppy, puppy. And then of course I've got the wreath. And my goodness, I still haven't made any progress on my Christmas wreath here, or Christmas reindeer. But I'll get there. Okay. So tell me guys, how's your day been? Has it been a good day? Oh, Rhonda says starting a new pick, Vintage Classic Coloring Pages by Tatiana Stilova. So excited. That's an excellent, excellent book. I assume you're talking about her first book, right? There's more volumes after that. Hello, Sandy. Da, da, da. All right. I think I'm going to work on my truck for a little bit, and then I'm going to work on our puppy. Yeah, she's got like volume 3, 4, 5, 6 different ones. Okay. Let's settle in. Alright, there's my scrap sheet. Oh, Mary says her Heidi book came in and it's wonderful. Okay, good. You ready to attack that grayscale, Mary? All right. Just had to get a sip of water here. Done. So Rhonda says the Tatiana Stilova, beautiful pictures, but kind of only get half a book raster from other books. Isn't that a good thing, though, that you get a variety? All right. So I'm going to move around on these flowers, work on this bottom part. All right, and Mary says she's going to attack her book soon. Good. Good. All right. Oh, you look at the hours to color. Yeah. But again, we celebrate the process and not necessarily the end, right? Rhonda? Not Rhonda, Mary, excuse me. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, relax and enjoy the process. We've talked about that before. Da, 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 da. Ashley, it may not be you. I just had a connection message. Okay, so I've got my Cerulean Blue 003 as my light. I've got my Nebulous Blue as my medium. I'm sorry, that first pencil Shuttle Art Nebulous Blue is from my Brett 520. And my third one is the Clematis Blue, also from my Brett 520. And hello, Ashley. All right. Let's play. All right, now I'm going to do something a little different. So I work my light, medium, and dark with these flowers here. So I'm going to use my dark on this one at the base. Zoom in. Zoom in. Little camera adjustment here. Da da dum, da 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 dum. Now remember, on my last flower I took the color and I put it on the tip and on the base and then spread it in the middle. I'm going to do that, but I'm going to do it a little bit differently with the colors. So this is my darkest color because it's the one by the base. Okay, that's my dark. Now, I'm going to take my medium This is a little bit different from last time. Hi Rita, sit back and enjoy, sweetie. Thank you for letting me know. Alright, now watch. This is my medium. Da, 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 da. Everybody see that color difference and how cool that looks? Oops, got a little bumpy there. Don't you love it when you're coloring and you hit a little bumpy on the table? Jean, hello. Okay, Jean, you're just watching today? All right, sweetie. Jean, I'm glad to see ya. Just sit back and relax. Okay, so dark in the near the center, medium, right? And now I'm going to use my light color in the center. All right, everybody see that difference now? So you're using a different color for the base, which is right here in the center. And then the tips of your flower. La, da, 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 da. Now this subtle color change, you know I'm all about that, right? is doing subtleties in your entire project. And that makes your piece look absolutely phenomenal. Okay, now I'm gonna blend. I want to blend this out just a little better. Need to have a softer look here. Boy, if my coloring doesn't relax you, this song ought to do it. And look how beautiful that looks now. And notice how I'm pulling the color now, my darker color, into the center a little more. And then this is where you could go in with your finger. Zoom out. Let's take a look at that. Zoom out. Hi, Helen. Now, if you still want to take it a little bit further, Faber-Castell Ivory. And isn't that gorgeous? So next time you do a flower, I want you to think about that. Dark at the center, medium at the tips, and then your lighter color in the center. And then notice similar colors, but a little different. Okay. How'd the autumn wreath turn out? I missed the end, was asleep. Beautifully, actually. Peeps seem to like it. Zoom out. It's coming. Yep, I'm showing you. We're getting there with it. Okay, now I'm going to go back with my conventional colors. Or conventional style. Zoom in. And conventional is really not the right word to use. Zoom in. Zoom in. So now I'm going to go here with my medium on both sides this time. And the reason that I'm doing that is because I want my colors to balance my shades, and I'll show you how I mean it in a minute. Oh, that's so pretty. Zoom in. Yeah, I've had a decent day. I hope everybody else has too. All right. Zoom out. And notice how I'm blending over my colors. I'm using my center color to blend over my ends. Zoom out. Yeah, everybody's kind of quiet tonight. Helen was asking if everybody has a good day. Everybody's coloring, Helen. Okay, so here's what we've got now on either side. I have a darker flower here, slightly lighter. And I want that lighter to be somewhat similar to this little guy over here. Tints of turquoise blue. Yeah, I may do that. Oh, Sandy says she's going away for the weekend. Fun. Okay. And now we've got a little flower here. Oh, Jean. I want to bury head in the sand and never appear again. That's how I feel. Oh, Jean. Zoom in. I bet you that you did cry a lot, Jean. You've had a very, very tough time. Jean, I wish I could stand up and give you a huge, huge hug. Oh, Jean, we just want to let you know that we're all rooting for you and behind you. I'm so, so glad that you could come in tonight. Okay, so I've got a nice array of blues going on here. And I'm going to blend with my Faber-Castell Ivory. Now, on this particular flower, we had it a little bit smaller. And sometimes that doesn't leave a lot of room for you to do things. So I'm going to go back now with my my eraser here. And we'll go ahead and lighten up some of these areas here because we want to create that sheen for the highlight. There we go. Isn't that pretty? I'm sorry, Helen, I'm not understanding. ILene, do you ever think, Step Buffett, I'm having a night off for telly? Are you talking about me? Honestly, I'd rather have my nose in my projects. Trust me, I get my telly. As I'm uploading videos, I watch it. I love the classic movies. Okay. Now, I want you to notice here that we've got purple in this blanket. Hold on, I gotta change something, one moment. Oh, Helen, not at all. I just really, I have a huge passion for what I do, and I'm fine. I've got my buds here. I need to be here for my people, so. And besides, if I took a night off, I think you guys would riot on me. he'd be asking where I was, if I was okay. Honestly, I'm perfectly satisfied here. I've got my mission statement, and I'm dedicated to it. Okay, zoom in. So I'm going to go ahead and work in a little purple to my flowers. Rhonda says I think I'd have a panic attack. Okay. Okay, so I've got my Guanghai 106. Which is my darker purple. No pressure, ILene. Yeah, thanks, Rhonda. No, I got too many projects going. I've got too much coming up I want to show you guys. I promised I'd be here for you, so I am. Okay, Amy, see you later. Okay, now again, I'm leaving my little gap. Oops. Okay, hold on. Pencil sharpener's acting up a little bit. Or not the sharpener, but my pencils. So this is sharpening off center. Alright, and I'm also going to show you now something a little different that I want to do with the center of this flower. And like I said, guys, flowers are fun because you can vary so much with them. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. Again, guys, remember, you want your piece to tell a story, right? Oh, Jean said today is Daisy's birthday. Oh. How neat is that? Daisy's not watching, is she? Jean, you'll have to tell her that we all wish her happy birthday. Helen says I'm daring to delve into the online dating thing again. Oh. Absolutely, Jean. You tell her that we are wishing her happy birthday. Yeah, I would think online dating would be scary, but that's me. So Helen, you said again, so you've done the online dating before? Okay, everybody see now how I have this subtle pink now in between my purple, my lighter color? And look how absolutely beautiful that is, guys. Yeah, Helen, better make sure they like dogs. Exactly. Okay, now, here's the other thing now that I want to do with this. Is I'm using now that lighter purple, which is my Brett Funner 33, and the darker purple was the Guang Hai 106. Now, watch this. I'm going to take my lighter purple, and I'm now going to use that for my center pieces. Everybody see how I'm doing that? So this light pink here is now my center. It was or my edges. It was my center over here. So center over here, but here edges here. And then I'm going to take my ivory pencil and bring that purple in the center, the lighter purple. So look at the effect now that that has, guys. And if you miss a little spot like I did, just fill it in. Zoom out. So Helen says if I find a new man, maybe I won't eat as much ice cream. Okay. Anybody have any question about how I did the outside and then the inside here? Dark color, lighter in the center, lighter center here, I'm sorry, lighter edges, and then blend it in. And then I'm doing an overall color here with my ivory to blend all of that in. Oh, I think my Amazon package is just arrived and I hear a truck. Oh. All right, zoom out, zoom out. So check that out. All right, now you know that I've been doing a lot with this. Here's my charcoal gray. Zoom in, zoom in. And now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to add my charcoal gray here. I've been doing this all along on that wreath. And we're going to add just a little bit of touch of that dark. And not only am I going to do it here in this, at the base, but I'm going to run it up the side a little bit. Now look, see this in the individual petals? And that's going to start to create that separation and that depth. Questions, comments? Now, heads up guys, not only am I doing it on the center bud, but I'm also going to do a few on my external petals as well, on the edges, and that's going to define them and give them a shadow. Everybody see that now? But you've got to be judicious with how you do it. And it's okay to blend with your finger. Because in something like this, you want that smoothness. Oh, I'm going to sneeze and I missed a petal. Hold on, guys. Now, listen to me guys, I don't want you to just throw black in there because you see me doing it, and I don't want you to mimic that. I want you to judiciously do it. Alright, everybody see now how we've got that depth. Bless me 1,000 times. Thank you, Jean. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, I'm still going to use here this is my charcoal gray. Jean, you know that we all love you and we care for you, and we know you're going through a very, very tough time right now. Prayers have been said for you, Jean. We love you, sweetie. And we always enjoy you coming into the group. Okay, everybody see now how I'm getting that black in here, and I'm just going up just petals just a little bit. So where I've got this overlap right here, I'm just popping in a little shade of this darker color. And then I'm going to blend that in, okay? Zoom out. And look at the depth on that, guys. That's the point. Well, Jean, you carry around that box of tissues so that you have it. And we can't let you bury your head in the sand because we need your company. Okay, everybody see now how I am bringing in that black? Well, I'm sorry, the gray. Gray. And just a little smudge with my finger. Zoom out. Well, Jean, I understand that you're trying to keep it together for your mom, but you've got to let yourself grieve as well. If you stuff your feelings, that's just going to not be good. Obviously, Danny was well loved in the family. All right, everybody see that depth right here now that I've got in these three flowers versus these three? So Rhonda says, ILene, my friend Paula had some hopeful news today. She thanks all for our prayers. The nephrologist feels she has been on wrong meds and feels that she will be improving soon. Jean, why don't you ask one of your family members to discreetly do a live broadcast on the phone, on their iPhone or phone, and that way you can listen to the service. Zoom in. Zoom in. Have you thought about that and asking a family member to do that for you? Okay, notice I'm coming in with the gray here. So Jean says, I'm going to try to get my little brother to do that for you. Okay. Had you thought about doing that already? Okay, so I'm taking my gray. I want you to watch how I'm shading here. Zoom in. Rhonda, that's excellent news about Paula. Okay, good. Good, Jean. Alright, now look, what I want you to notice is I'm also taking that gray pencil and I'm going underneath this inside petal with a little bit of the shadow gray. Everybody see how that's making it look already? Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And we'll smudge that just a little bit, just to blend. All right. Same thing here now. Guys, can you see how that shading is making that center portion pop? And we're getting all sorts of dimension on it. Remember, guys, you want to surprise and delight your viewing audience. And give them that little extra. Okay, let's take a peek at these. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Look at that, guys. Just a little extra touch on those flowers. Zoom in. Now, I want to point out something about shading. The reason that the lighter gray works is because when you put that shadow in there, you still see that the color below, right? So as I'm putting the lighter shade on this blanket, you're still seeing the red underneath, but you're just seeing a slightly darker version of it. So remember when we talked about that shading is not just taking a black line and adding it, you're actually darkening the color that the object is laying on top of. And everybody needs to be really clear about that. Any questions about that? So I'll say it again. This light gray is still allowing the color underneath to show through. And that's the whole point. That's the secret. Now, if this were a yellow edge, I wouldn't be using this gray because that would be too much of a contrast. Okay, now see where this truck comes together? We've got the bed that's coming into the back. Zoom in. So watch this. Now, what I'm also going to point out is your viewing audience should never, ever, ever see whatever pencil color you use to get this shading. And you can use a darker red if you want, that's fine. And that's what I'm saying about the blending and your subtleties. You want them to see the shading and not the pencil color. Please make sure that you understand that. Oh, Rhonda, I know what I wanted to tell you. I really think that's neat that you added that little planter in your picture. Rhonda cut out that little planter from another portion of the same book, and she put it into the kitchen scene. Oh, your granddaughter makes those, the macrame hangers? Yeah. Is everybody clear on the shading that I'm doing in the wheel, in the outside of the wheel? And this little bit of shadow? Oh, she's going to get a kick out of that, Rhonda. Okay, now I'm going to go in the wheel well itself, and I'm just going to go ahead and make an overall darker color. Now, once again, notice I'm not coloring it over with the gray and allowing this gray to take over. I'm just shadowing it so the red shows through. And even the shadowed areas here have their edges. And love strawberry icing, yeah. She's going to get such a kick out of that. Okay, so let's go through here. I'm just going to darken this seam up just a little bit. And this is why Wanda will tell her that she loves her 70% gray. Now, again, you could use red to darken this. But I thought that the gray would look a little better. Okay. So we'll go ahead and put a little shadow right there. Put a little shadow right there, and what happens? It looks more rounded. Right? Zoom out. Look at the depth on that truck, guys. And guys, like I said, you've got to be extremely light with your gray. A little goes a long way. It really does. Questions, comments? And this whole picture now is getting all sorts of depth on it. All right, apples where they're overlapping, just a touch. Not much. Boom. See how those apples all of a sudden pop out? Zoom in. All right, now these corn pieces, right on the line here, this yellow. Little bit of shading, boom, the corn pops out. And if anybody says popcorn, I'm going to smack you. Zoom out. And then I'm going to color in between the slats, and look how those are jumping out at you. Zoom in. Anybody have any question about that? Guys, you got to make sure that you get this. Now listen to me. I don't want you just to draw a black line, okay, when you're shading. You're using your pencils to create the effect. Don't force it. Don't just draw a dark line. You want to very gently put that shading on there. Get a little bit behind the leaf here. Isn't that pretty? Now look at this, a very, very subtle shading here because I'm using the gray. I am barely touching the paper, guys. Zoom out. All right, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. All right, let's go ahead and get some depth on here as well. Now, this is why I keep getting after you about using light pencil technique, because when you shade, if you come in gangbusters, you're going to ruin the effect. But you've got to come in here whisper light. And you'll see that start to pop out for you. And when it looks good to you, you quit. Okay. I'm going to touch up a couple more pieces here, parts. I'm going to go ahead and just gently put that on there. I mean, I'm barely touching the paper, guys. I'm allowing just the pencil color and stroke to do its thing. And then I'm going to darken that wheel well. Anywhere that you have overlap, consider your shading, okay? And be absolutely sure that you blend it. Some of you guys, when you shade, you put your darker color in, but then you don't blend it, and it looks like a black streak. Okay. Zoom out. Zoom out. Now, I would sure say that this has personality and it's telling a story, isn't it? All right. Oh, let's see. Now, sometimes what I like to do, I've been concentrating a lot on the truck and the flowers. And sometimes what I like to do is just go ahead and put another color somewhere else on the page, and then I work towards that. Now, at this point, we need to decide what the crop is. And the thing is, we've got a lot of brown here, reds, browns, oranges, and we just want to be careful that we don't lose that background area here. So what I'm going to do on that, let's see what we got here. Zoom in. Is I'm going to take my, this is my Crayola Colors of the World medium golden, and I'm going to just give these areas here a little bit of brown color. You'll see where I'm going with this in a minute. Now, what you need to decide when you're doing something in the back here is if there's a crop going on. Have the fields been plowed? For all we know, this could be wheat. So I'm going to take a very narrow pen. This is my Signo, the Uniball Signo, and you can see that the artist had already put in suggestions of something being in the field. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to finish that. Zoom in. Okay. Now, I've got to let that dry because that's where I always get into trouble, is I jump the gun on it sometimes. But that's because I'm teaching this and I want to show you the particular concept that I'm working on. Okay. Now I'm going to take a little bit of green. We're going to assume a crop. Jean, you still hanging there with us? Love you, Jean. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of green here. Da, da, da. Now, I don't know if any of you in our group has been brought up on a farm, but I'm assuming, you know, maybe this is a mild climate here. And we've got some growth and stuff in here. Okay, Sandy, welcome back. And actually, I need to carry this, let's see, yeah, we'll go one more segment here. Okay. And then I'm going to take an Arteza Expert 075. And I'm going to put a little yellow in between this. Make sure that you don't land on your green, because yellow and green make what? Okay. That's right, Ash. Aren't you glad that we all passed kindergarten? Or first or second grade? Zoom out. Okay, one more touch. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. All right, get my yellow in here. Now, again, I don't know what this crop is. It could be flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and just put in some pieces of red here. not much. And I'm going to do a very, very gentle blend with my finger. Now, this is going to look a little wonky because I don't have anything around it at the moment. Zoom out. Zoom out. And this is going to make more sense when I get my other colors around it, which I'm not going to do tonight. Okay, anybody have any questions or comments about the shading, about the blending, about colors that I've used? I think we're in pretty good shape. Zoom out. Okay. Now, Ashley, was it you that asked me, you or Sandra that asked me about doing a darker grayscale? I can't get to my notes to see who it was. Alright, let me put some of this stuff away. Sandy, thank you. Okay. Okay, let's see. Give me 2 seconds while I clear the deck here. So, any questions about this? Again, notice that little bit of shadow and shading right there between the two vegetables. Okay. Alright. New paper towel. And yeah, that was the UPS truck I heard. Because I just got a notice on my phone. Delivered! Delivered! We all love that word, don't we? Okay. It was Ashley, Rhonda. Ashley had books for you. And if you ever have a question like that, you can go back to the comments. Okay. Yeah, Sandy's got one that she's giving away, I guess, or selling, or... Okay. So I've been working on our puppy, and this is the Sweet Animals by MADAY. So Sandy says she's giving it for free. Sandy, do me a favor and just text Rhonda so she has it in her phone. And just say free coloring books so she knows. That's why I have you guys send me text so I remember. Okay. So last night I was working on, I'll tell you what, I was on quite a roll last night. I was having a lot of fun doing that cloth for you. So what I'm going to show you tonight is how you would do something like that on a side-by-side. Here is a very dark grayscale, guys. And Sandy had asked about this. This is Country Autumn 2 by Life Escapes Digital. And Sandy was asking about dark grayscale and how to handle that. And I'm going to show you. So, zoom in. So you still do your dark, your medium, and your light. Now see how dark this is? And this kind of grayscale throws some people because they think that you don't see the color, but you do. Zoom in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over my dark areas with my darkest pencil. So, darkest pencil, dark area. Do not let this throw you. And it is so pretty once you do it. Now, this is a Prismacolor Chestnut Color PC 1081. Zoom in. All right, Sandy, can you see this now? Now, it's going to look a little wonky while you're doing it, but trust me, as you're doing it, it'll come out. And the other thing, Sandy, is that, and anybody else who's interested in this, excuse me, have questions about the dark medium light, that once you start doing this, it's going to make sense to you and it won't throw you. So again, dark as pencil. La da 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 da. Now, I can clearly see, do you see this color on here now? So there's my dark. And now I'm going to go through and I'm going to hit my light areas. Okay, slide you down just a little bit here. Now, what's going to be left is my medium area, which have a couple shades of gray. That's fine. I've told you that that happens. But it's still going to be on my mediums. Okay, now I'm coming in with my medium. So let me go back down to the bottom here. So everything that's left now are my mediums. I'm going to blend with my finger. Good night, Jean. Jean, hugs for you. Get your rest, sweetheart. Take your vitamins, please. And will you please give Marilyn a hug for me? Don't forget to hug Marilyn for me. Oop. Okay, Jean, that's good. You hug her long and hard for me. Oh man, this is absolutely gorgeous. Wait until you see it when I pull out, guys. All right, now I'm in my top section. Very, very lightly I'm coloring over this. Work with your grays, guys. Don't fight them. Now, there may be some times that you don't want to blend it with your finger. That's fine. It's what the situation calls for. Zoom out. Hi, Wanda. Zoom out. Now I'm just going to go back with my lightest and I'm going to blend this a little more. In this situation, I'm not going to use my Faber-Castell. I know you didn't think the color would show on the darkness, and that's exactly why I'm doing this for you. Wait until I pull out. It sure does show. Now, Sandy, look at the difference between here, which is uncolored, and here, which is colored. You see it? You better believe it shows up, even on that really, really dark grayscale. And you know that it's there because you can see the difference between the two, right? Actually, it's better not to use blender pencil on grayscale because, that's correct, if you absolutely have to and you can do it a little bit, there you go. Wanda says, I tried to tell you guys that the dark would take color. Yeah. Isn't that beautiful? So Ashley, what I'm doing is I'm using my lightest brown as my blender. Okay. Hey, when Wanda first started out, she was just as skeptical, and she learned. Zoom out. Zoom out. What do you see? So that area in here, which was looking very black, it's got a beautiful, beautiful brown tint to it now. Zoom in. And after you've done it a couple times, when you've worked on pieces that are very, very dark, you're going to get it. You'll understand. But I specifically wanted to do this piece because it has the brown barrel, and this area here, the binding part of the barrel, you can see this was just as dark gray as this was. Look at the difference between here and here. That's black, that was black. Now you've got the difference. So if this doesn't convince you, I'm not sure what will. Now, if you want to, just as a little kicker, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take some white Can everybody hear me okay? Now, watch this. I'm going to take some white. Thank you, I see the thumbs up. And I'm going to hit a couple of these, lighter areas. Now, be very careful about erasing on your grayscale because it may pull up some of the gray depending on the quality of your printing. Okay, Rita says loud and clear, good. Now, this is me just playing around. This is the type of thing that Wanda likes to do where she plays with layers and colors and tones. That's why her work is so good. And I'm just going ahead and I'm adding a little kicker of the white. See that? And I'm going to add a little here on my own. The author didn't have it, but I think that's appropriate. Isn't that whole thing gorgeous? Questions, comments? Zoom in. Zoom in. Again, this area here was just as black as this area, but you can see that brown. And that's what I wanted to show you. Zoom out. Now, Ashley, have I used blender pencil on grayscale? Yes. But extremely sparingly and very, very lightly. Yeah, Rhonda says almost a patina, yep. I love it. Okay, now, zoom out. I think I'm seeing this jar as being in blues. And look at these peaches, aren't those gorgeous? All right. So I want you to look at this one that I'm doing for you. And I want you to look at the difference. The grayscale on the picture is so much richer than what we've got here. And that's because you're working from this darker photograph. Ashley, exactly, it can pull up your gray. So she says, I heard it pulls up the gray, so I wasn't sure if it was just one printed books or if you copied your own or just not to use one at all. I hardly touch my blender pencil on this stuff. Your pencil is your best. Okay? Now, everybody see the difference here? And guess what? I used the exact same brown pencils that I did on this one. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the difference. So if you use dark blue, would it show dark blue or just dark? It would show dark blue, just like the barrel. This black here was just as black as the black that was here. It picks up the color, it really does. That's what I was just showing you. I will continue on this picture another time. But I used like I said, I used the exact same browns that I'm using here. So Wanda says, I learned long ago when I used to do oil paintings that if you started with a black canvas, your colors look more vibrant. Yep. Absolutely. Let's see, here's my ivory. I'm going to play with this just a little bit. I want a softer blend. So here's where that ivory kicks in beautifully. Oh, beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Any more questions? If you think of a question later on, fine. What a stark contrast. Vibrant and beautiful. Okay. Let's continue to play. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you use pencil on black grayscale. Hello, Maddie. Okay. I'm having too much fun. I am. Okay. And I hope you guys are learning something. Zoom out. Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing that cloth last night. I was really getting into it. Okay, so where I left off is I had just done my darken my light, and now I've got my medium. Zoom in. Now, I'm deviating here off to the side a little bit. Do you see that? Zoom in. Puppy! Actually, that's what I call Vicky sometimes. I'll just say, puppy! Alright, see how I've got that little zip in there? That's my own doing, and that's where I encourage you, is to not just blindly color this stuff. Zoom in. Oh, zoom in. Zoom in. Now, depending on how dark I want this, let me do something here. So Rhonda says Toby and I had a rough morning yesterday. Toby is Rhonda's dog. They were testing fire alarms. We spent the morning in the bathroom. Oh, yeah. Where it muffled the noise. Oh, no. Yeah, they don't understand, of course. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my dark a moment. Now, this is where I tell you not to go brain dead when you're doing your coloring, because you can still add your own little touches to this. So that's my dark. So now I'm going to go back with my light and just blend this in a little bit rather than use a blender pencil. You can blend with your medium as well. But I wanted to use the light to keep some of the color off of it and to keep it more pure. Sandy says she's going to go through coloring withdrawal this weekend. Oh, yeah. Now notice how my lightest color acts like a beautiful blender pencil, and do you see how that edge of that dark color is starting to get very mushy? Mushy's not the right word. Blended, blended. How cute is that? All right. So coming in with my dark color now, I'm just playing around with some of these wood seams. And this is where, guys, you have a combination, it's a hybrid of your line art coloring and your grayscale coloring. As Wanda mentioned, and just like I'm doing right now, I'm adding my own touches. And you can see, for example, this area right here is getting lighter because this other area that I'm doing is getting darker. And that looks cool because that's making like sort of a knot. Now notice this bucket, well, I was going to put a little dent in it, but I think I better not do that. It's going to look like I missed it. Now, guys, trust me. All this fussing that I'm doing is just me being artistic. Because I don't want you to look at this and go, oh my gosh, when do I do this? When do I do that? I'm telling you, you'll start to get it. You really will. Okay, I'm going to take my ivory now and lighten up this area here, because it formed a really nice, like I said, almost a knot. And I thought that looked cool, so I'm going to run with it. As Wanda has told you, she's done the same thing. Is that she's just run with different patterns. Okay. So we've got the shadow underneath the cloth. Anybody have any questions? I mean, that's fine if you don't, but I just want to make sure that, you know, this is why I'm live. Don't get shy about questions. So this is my medium brown. And I'm even going to come in with a little bit of dark, I mean just a tad. And just put a little streak up there. Now, this is the type of thing where I know it's there, but the audience doesn't. All they know is that it looks really cool. Hi, Sarah. Okay, now I'm going to go into medium because that's my last color that's left. Remember that light, dark, medium. Sarah says, hi, Eileen, Sandy, Wanda, Rhonda, Maddie, Ashley. Okay, so now I'm freelancing this a little bit. I'm adding my own shading because I've put in my light, medium, and dark, and now I'm playing around with it. And I'm taking my medium and I'm going to add just a little more texture to this. Just because. Sarah says, I try to say hi to everyone in each group I watch. Cool. All right, now notice how I put this horizontal line in here? Doesn't that look neat? I like it. I'm not even going to blend that a lot. Okay. Well, I'm really glad you do that, Sarah. That's great. And you know I'm big on that. Okay, so here's my dark. Now, the bottom of the bucket naturally is a little bit darker down here, but there still is your light, your medium, and your dark. All right, so for now, there's all my dark. And now I'm going to go with my light. Well, Sarah, that's important to make people feel special. And then I'm going to come in with my medium color now. And blend up all of that together. And guys, wood is so much fun to do because it's very forgiving. You know how I tell you the flowers are fun to do because of the differences in nature? Yes, it is the little things, Sarah. It absolutely is. All right, now I'm going to come back with a little bit of dark because now I'm playing. And now my choice. Sandy says my book came today, but I have to wait to color in it. And I'm sorry, which book is it? So I'm going to use my Faber-Castell for my blending. 103 Ivory. Very, very lightly to soften all of this up. Oh, the one I'm coloring now? Okay, cool. Gosh, that song is pretty. So Rhonda, when does your granddaughter get her picture? It's now as thick as her first, oh, it's not as thick as her first book. Yeah, I know, Sandy, it isn't. September 25th. You'll have to tell us if she liked it. Zoom in. So Rhonda, you said now that members of your family are asking you to color pictures for them? What's up with that? Okay, so there's my dark. Now, I want to show you something here. I really don't have a light spot here. All of this is basically medium. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, for me, I'm going to go ahead and take my ivory and just lighten up a little bit right here. Not much. All right, let's take a look at this. Zoom out. Your daughter has requested farm animal pictures. Your friend a particular Bible verse which I'm looking for. Okay. Zoom out. Zoom out. Oh man. All right, let me grab a little water. Okie dokie. And again, I just showed you the difference between coloring dark grayscale and coloring this picture. And after the demonstration that I showed you, you should have absolutely no problems. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay. Zoom in. So I can go through and do my darks. Yeah, the darker one does look so real. That's why grayscale done with photographs, Sandy, is just, it'll knock your socks off. You just have to take a leap of faith with those darker parts. Alright, so here's my darks, starting out with that. And the other thing that people make mistakes about grayscale is they think you have to obliterate the gray. No, the gray is what's helping your pieces look really great. That's why you can get away with coloring light colors on them. Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay, now I'm going to come in with my lighter color here. And again, sometimes you need to do your own thing with your colors. Now don't get super wild with it. And if you're new to grayscale, for the first few you need to pretty much stick to the program. Alright, let's see what we got here. Now, sometimes you've got to use your common sense where your darker spots are going to appear. And that's where the artistic part comes in. Wanda will tell you that she doesn't necessarily, all right, now I got my medium. She doesn't necessarily stick to the book 100%. So now I'm coming in, this is my medium. Oh man, this is coming out so beautifully, it really is. Alright, let's get this medium in here. And again, notice sometimes what I'll do is I'll color against, I'll cross grain. So I'll just come up with something like that. Looks good to me. And now I'm going to go ahead and smooth this puppy out with my ivory. Faber-Castell 103. Oh man, see how that white spot now is coloring in? And as Wanda has mentioned, and I've mentioned, you don't want to overblend, because if you blend it too much, your colors are going to start mushing together, and you're just going to have a gray mess. And when they start to blend together, that means you don't have your distinctive colors anymore. So you need to be aware about that. All right, let me zip this clean. Da, 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 da. Medium. And let your pencil do the work. Too many of you come in with guns a-blazing You jam your pencils into your paper because you want your dark color immediately. And that is the totally wrong way to color. When you come in with a lighter color first, and then keep repeated strokes on it until it comes up to the shade that you want. Alright, now see this open spot right here? I'm going to leave that because it looks cool. And again, be careful about using your electric eraser. Some papers can tolerate it without taking the grayscale off. Other papers can't. Depends on the quality of your printer. Okay, see that light spot in there? I'm going to come in with my ivory. Okay, I'm going to clean that up just a little bit. Zoom out. Okay, now I'm going to come in with my Storm Gray. And this is where now we can go ahead and really play with this shading. Zoom in. Don't be afraid to do stuff like this, guys. And it doesn't take much. It really doesn't. Now, let me show you something else fun with this. I'm going to take my black. This was my really dark spot, my darkest brown. And I'm going to go over that. A couple times. Look at that. Isn't that cool? And guys, it's just the littlest touch. It really is. So this area right here where I've got this lighter streak here, I'm going to add just a little bit of shading next to it. And that's really going to make it stand out. And I'm going to pull this shading down just a little bit around the tip of the cloth. Every stroke that you put on paper, it adds color even though you don't necessarily see it blatantly. All you notice and start to see is, wow, that really looks cool, or that looks really more defined. Oh. Now, look at the difference between this side and this side as far as depth, dimension. This side has no black on it at all. Let me grab my water again. So now I want you to watch what happens when I just add that little shading of black. And because of blending, you shouldn't see that black distinct line at all. All you're going to see is a really neat shading effect. And dimensional effect. Oh, how cool is that? Everybody see the difference now. And if I have a little spot that looks splotchy, I'll just take my ivory and bop it out of there. Hey, Vic. What you doing, dear? Yeah. Yeah, you're my good girl. Okay. So here's my lightest color. And this is looking a little streakier than what I want. Now, I also want to show you something which is going to sound counterintuitive, but when you have streaking like this, one way to correct it, and this depends on the situation, is to take that same dark color and just lightly blend out on either side of your streak. Does that make sense to you? So in other words, I'm just making that streak look a little darker on either side. And that's going to get that stark line out of there. And then I'll come back either with my light brown, you can, or my ivory, and I'm going to go ahead and blend that in. We'll use the lighter brown. Alright, now let me go back to this bottom edge where I was adding my black. And I'm sorry, storm gray, not black. And I'm like barely touching this. And that little streak that I added, I'm going to go ahead and emphasize that with a couple strokes. Guys, is all this making sense to you? Okay. And I'll go back now with my lightest brown. Okay, I'm not seeing comments. Okay, zoom out. Zoom out. There we go. Now, the neat thing about this too is as we're looking at it overall, you can see that I have my light spots. Remember this one cropped up? So now I'm going to go through and hit some of those. Oh man, that bucket looks good. Now, see this little curve that I'm putting in with my light spot? Zoom in. That's a little Benny. That's a little extra here. And go whoop, zoop. Same here, go off to the left a little bit. And guys, I don't want you to be afraid to do that. Add some personality to your piece. What I tell you earlier, in the earlier broadcast, you want your piece to talk to the viewer. Okay. Zoom in. Rita, you still with us? Okay, so here's my darkest color. Let's see where that goes. I want to know where Gina Papadimitrios is. We haven't seen her in a long time. Okay, so there's my dark. And I want to go with my light. And then I'll get my medium in there. And then we'll go with my light again. And again, guys, totally up to you how you want to approach the switching of your pencils. As long as you get your desired effect, you're fine. Like I told you, I used to be intimidated by tutorials because, you know, the artist would grab a pencil and say, do this, 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 and it's like, how do I know how to do that? They never explained, they showed the how, but not the why. And that's why I talk your ear off when I'm doing this, because I'm explaining what my thought process is. Okay. Okie dokie smoky. Zoom out. And if you have a part that looks a little choppy, like what I think here, then go ahead and get your ivory and start blending that out. Okay, zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. I'm thinking we're looking pretty good there. Okay. Now, I had already gone ahead. Oh, I don't like the blending here. Let's see. I want to blend up that storm gray a little bit. There we go. Hold on, let me look at something. Okay, zoom in. Let's go ahead and get underneath the flower. This is the other side of this band here. What am I doing? Oh, dark. Now remember, zoom in, zoom in. When you put your colors on, like your dark here, you don't want to just do lines. You've got to blend that out a little bit. So you should be blending that. If you make just lines, you're going to have streaks when you bring in your other colors. So fuzzy it up a little bit. I have no idea what this curve thing is. Who knows? And then I'm going to grab my light. And then I'm going to grab my medium. And remember, with your light and your medium, that's where you're going to be blending in subsequent colors that you had put on the page. I'm sorry, previous colors, not subsequent. Okay, now whatever this silly thing is that's on here that I have no idea, I'm flying a little blind with this, but that's all right. Zoom in. Zoom in. I'm going to go ahead and use my Storm Gray. Oh, I just figured out what it is. Look at this. There's a leaf shape on here. Okay. Fine. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Storm Gray, and we'll outline that just a little bit. I don't know, maybe it's a pattern on there. Now this is a little staple that's right here. See that little tiny spot there? So I'm going to take my Storm Gray and I'm just going to just gently outline that a little bit and blend. Hi, Stephanie. And what I did is I slid over here to that other staple, and still using my Storm Gray, I went ahead and just put a little shadow underneath it. Now that puppy is really sticking up. Okay. Good to see you, Steph. All right, now underneath, we want that dimension, so I'm still using my Storm Gray. And I'm going to outline the bottom of this band that's going around the outside. So I'm outlining it and then I'm blending it in. Well, Steph, I'm so glad that you could stop in. All right, zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. I am not going to go ahead and do that other band. Zoom out. Zoom out. Because we're running out of time. Okay, Faber-Castell 103. Very, very lightly. I'm going to go over everything on my wood. I am avoiding my shadow areas. And I'm going to smooth this out. Smooth this puppy out. Haha, pun intended. Now, use your judgment in doing this. Just don't ramrod the color all over the page just because. You have got to decide whether this method of blending is going to work for you based on your vision of what this bucket is. And that's why I keep telling you there's different methods of blending and they're going to produce different results. Pretty darn nice. Okay. Zoom out. Zoom out. And as I've said before, it took me longer because I'm teaching this. I'm explaining every single step, every single little detail that I'm doing. So has anything I told you confused you? Has anything I told you clarified some things? And again, this is in comparison to an actual photograph where I went ahead and worked on black to make these beautiful colors come up. And this is a side-by-side comparison. Let's see if I can do this. Look at that. See how I'm putting the, like this is the side of the bucket? Oh, I'm a silly girl. See it? Oh, look at that. See it? There's the difference, guys. Oh, I love it. And the irony of this is Oh my gosh, just about the same size. It's the one I'm doing for you here with the puppy. Oh, that is hysterical. Yeah, grayscale works up quickly. But just because it goes quicker, I don't want you to throw the colors on there. Think it through, guys. Entertain your audience. Make a statement about your pictures. Maddie, will you please post that tonight? Don't you guys think this is hysterical that this matches so well? Never in a million years. Oh, that's funny. That is really amusing me. I couldn't have planned that if I wanted to. Okay, guys, I hope you learned something. Love you. Take care. Please keep Jean in your thoughts and prayers, guys. Please send her a little message. Please tell her if you are actually doing this, please tell her that you're thinking of her. She's really hurting. Marilyn's hurting her mom. So give them a little port in a storm. Alright guys, joyous, joyous coloring. Oh, I love all those hearts. Love you guys. I hope you learned something. I had a lot of fun doing this. Be kind to each other, and I will see you tomorrow night, same time, same place. Alright guys, this is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. I hope you had fun. I had a lot of fun. Take care, guys. Bye.